Board, April 6th, 2026, first item of business. We have a quorum, so the minutes that were sent via email, any alteration or correction? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion, I will second, 2-0. Okay, Jared.
So on the old business, I do not have any update on the Carl Helms tile replacement or the Carnes open ditch. I know they're done dipping that one out, and I just haven't been out there to see if they're done spreading spoil yet, but.
Is there any feedback at all from the city if they're interested in taking over the car?
The company, Cooley that did the jetting, they sent us a link to the videos and everything. We forwarded that link onto the city, and I have not heard a word since then. So that's the last I've heard, so.
I'm talking to the mayor tonight, so I'll just add that to our agenda.
Yeah, I have not heard a single peep.
Let's have Derek, copy Derek Denninger in it too, so both of them
Yeah, I haven't heard.
get the message.
When we were looking at the video, the quality of the video was not the greatest. It was real grainy. And I don't know if it's just bandwidth trying to watch it online. I'm not sure why. We forwarded the link to them, and we didn't get anything back of like, hey, this isn't, we can't see what we want to see. Like, we haven't heard anything, so.
At least acknowledge.
Yeah. So that's the last conversation I've. Yeah, Carnes, like I say, I just have not been out there to see if they are finished leveling spoil yet, or if they've even started on that, but I do know the ditch was all dipped out. On the joint hearing with Allen County on the Jacob Johnson joint drain, April 16th, 2026 at 9 a.m. is the date and time for the joint board hearing. Jeff, you had contacted me that you were not going to be able to be at that meeting. Hopefully that means that Commissioner Vanover, that your schedule would be open on that day and time.
Tell me one more time.
April 16th at 9 a.m. at Citizen Square in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I see it.
I seen it published in the paper today.
Yeah, I did. I saw the legal ad today as well.
Jessica invited us to go to Kendallville afterward at 11 or 11:30 for some town thing, so I'm assuming we'll be done by,
I would think.
based on our last one.
I would think within an hour. I would think within an hour you guys will be done.
Yeah, I should be good for that day.
Okay. We'll let Allen County know that it would probably be your name on the joint board rather than Jeff's, and we will email you the information that they had emailed us so that you're kind of up to speed with what's going on. Do we need a motion to switch those members, Ted? Do you know?
Maybe number to switch what numbers?
So originally, Jeff and Blake were going to be the Wells County members for the joint board hearing for the Jacob Johnson with Allen County.
Did we have a vote to appoint?
I think we probably did.
If we did, then we should have a.
Vote to replace.
Vote to replace due to whatever circumstances.
Okay.
I'll make that motion to change, because I have to be out. Change me for Mike, as long as Mike's all right with that.
Yep, second.
All in favor, aye?
Mike.
Okay, 3-0.
And we will let them know. I do not have any new business per se. I do have a question. This is something that the last several years has sometimes become an issue, and it's generally at this time of year that it becomes an issue. Corn stalks, with the wind that we've had, a lot of those blowing into open ditches, and then with the rain later, we've had some issues. I'm sure the highway department has had probably some calls about that as well. No? I can't imagine. I don't have a great idea, and I don't know that I want to try to come up with a policy right now, but I guess that's a question for our county attorney and maybe colleagues that represent other counties. Do you know, or could you check and see if any other counties have a policy about that? Of like how to deal with it? Corn stalks getting stuck in. Corn fodder getting stuck in culvert pipes and filling up side ditches and all those types of things. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, for the most part, with 95% success rate, usually if I call the landowner that owns the farm field that probably caused the problem and I make a phone call, it gets dealt with. So I don't know that we need a policy, but we haven't really had a lot of incidents where it didn't get dealt with. So,
So is there an issue now that it's not getting dealt with?
no, not right now, but a lot of other counties have asked me about it just here recently. And I'm sure they're both smiling over there like the Cheshire cat that,
It was a discussion point yesterday at Easter at our family gathering.
it can be a problem. And it's, if you have the right windy conditions and then the right rainy conditions, it can be a problem. And like I say, for the most part, whenever I make a phone call and talk to somebody, they'll take their backhoe out or do whatever, and it hasn't really been an issue that didn't get resolved. But someday we might have one of those, and like I say, I didn't know if like any of other counties that you guys represent, maybe they have some kind of policy for that sort of thing. That maybe it's something we can look at and.
I will do some appropriate investigation.
Just know a lot of corn stalks were getting mulched and put together in bales.
Yeah. It seems like with the, it seems like the hybrids that they're using, if you don't at least crush them or do something, they don't rot near as well. And so everybody's trying to figure out, do you disc them in the fall? Do you mow them? I can answer those two questions. No, bad idea. Some guys have rollers that are on their combine head that actually like knocks them down, but they stay attached and they don't move as much. That works pretty good. If you chisel plow to where it kind of turns them under and has some dirt on top of them, they don't seem to move as much. But yeah, the mowing and lightly disking is a bad idea. That's a bad idea. If you have the wind and then rain conditions that we've had this year, it doesn't cause a problem every year. It's just some years that it's worse than others. And we've had a couple phone calls, emails, people reporting them being, culverts plugged up and that sort of thing. And so far, I think those have all gotten dealt with. But what happens when they don't, or what happens if you can't really point the finger and say, that's the one that caused it? Like, what do we do in those instances? So, like I say,
Just being a simple man, is it only corn? Is it other farm?
generally it's corn stalks.
Okay.
And I don't know why. Occasionally, bean straw will do it, but very, very seldom. And I've never had like wheat straw be a problem. It's generally corn stalks. For whatever reason.
How would one ever determine from which farmland such runoff would come?
If it's like the only cornfield around, you can pretty well.
Obviously, if you had 3 beans and there's only 1 corn, but again, being a simple man.
I don't want to have to
that-
like do DNA analysis or anything.
Right.
I don't want to get that complicated. Just, yeah, if it's, most of the time you can kind of tell where they came from,
Okay.
but. And like I say, maybe,
Mention it to them.
I guess I would like to see what some other I'm not advocating for a policy or anything at this point. I guess I'd like to see, have other counties done something like that? And what did their policy look like? And then maybe we can have a conversation, I guess, but,
Reach out to them.
yeah.
What county is that, Commissioner Adams? Okay.
You'll be here next week for Wabash.
Yeah, or this week. This week, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, we can ask at that.
Hoping to be there. My brother-in-law's having a kidney removed.
But just throwing it out there. That
I also have a meeting with the county attorney next week as well, so maybe I can.
I'm a big fan of the person responsible just takes care of it and the government stays out of it. I'm a big fan of that, but. And so far that has worked fairly well, but. That's all I have.
Anything else, Diana? Blake?
No, sir.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.